Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways. We got big things today from the USA. The new Ford Mustang 2.3 turbo. A real rocket ship. It's not the 5.0, but it's pretty damn close. 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. This thing will do 250, no problem whatsoever. Retailing at about 850,000. About 900, pushing R1 million for the V8 model. It's about, and the V8 does 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. It's about the closest you're going to get to an affordable supercar, and this thing looks, drives, and feels like a supercar, ladies and gentlemen. Surprisingly easy to drive, decent turning circle, exceptional grip. Let's see how she does. Thankfully we're getting some winter rains here in Cape Town. The usual Ford touchscreen system here. This doesn't have sat nav. This is a sports car. You don't need sat nav. You're gonna have too much fun for that. You got various modes. You got these aircraft style buttons here for modes. You get normal, sport, plus, and then racetrack if you want to go mental. And there's also wet mode, which is what we really need now. So wet mode just tones everything down, puts the turbo down a bit, makes everything good. This car's a real head turner, that's for sure, and I can't blame it. One of the most beautiful cars in the world at the moment, this new Mustang. Beautiful grip. You hardly ever spin the wheels in this car. It's fully wet. Nice 19-inch Pirellis in on here. Put 10s, stick to the road like glue. This thing certainly handles in the wet, that is for sure. Okay, let's get her into normal. Wet and snow, that's what we need now. Winter rains are coming down here, and we've got the new Mustang from Ford, their finest creation, the most affordable supercar in South Africa. Well, the 5 liter you could call a supercar. It does it the 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds, which is kind of the benchmark. This does it in 5. But it's under R1 million. It's the biggest head turner I've driven ever, and I've driven the big luxury cars from Europe, which are sensational. But this thing is also got it in wet mode, doesn't really slip, and you can get the power on. That engine is just amazing. Beautiful. Mustang first came out in 1964. Took about a year to take on, and by 65 they were dominating the American muscle car scene. Went through some lean periods in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s with some gorish styling, but I think this is the first of the collector's items. Something you'd buy now and you'd sell it in 30-40 years time. It's really a work of art, this. The Yanks must have got some input on the styling. Everything is well thought out. It doesn't really feel like you're driving a regular Ford. There's some nice touches, the Mustang sign on the keyboard. The best part is that engine note just goes all day long. This is up against your Audi RS3, which I have driven, also an exceptional car, very fast, but this thing turns more heads. Handling's probably pretty similar. I'd say the RS is maybe just a little bit quicker. Not much in it though. But I'd go for the Ford. Also, it would be cheaper to keep on the road than the the Audi once it's in service plan. This is the same 2.3 EcoBoost that's found in the Focus RS. Pushes out about 231 kilowatts, which is more than enough for most people. If you're a serious gearhead, get the 5.0, which is not that much more expensive. Gears here all feel like they're out of an aircraft. Nice big steering wheel. Steering in terms of feedback is good. It's set up for racing. It's not a soft suspension by any means. I mean, not suspension. The steering is kind of quite hard, which is good at speed. It doesn't understeer. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can put it into comfort mode if you want it a little bit softer or harder in sport mode. So it's really set up for racing enthusiasts, people that are going to take this car into a racetrack and race it. Come on. It's got lap timers on here. It tells you what the engine temperature is. It's really set up for the gearhead, this car. But everybody loves it. I've had numerous requests for drives in this. Everybody just can't get enough of this vehicle, and who can blame them? The new Ford Mustang, the working man's supercar, under $1 million. And the price will come down if the rand goes up in strength, and the more that are sold here. Because if you look at the American prices, it should be a little bit cheaper, but the exchange rate gets us. Or if we can start manufacturing these here. So people with deep pockets, go get one at your local dealer. In terms of modes, you got the wet and snow, which we're in now. You got normal, which is quite palatable. It doesn't have the loud crackling engine noises that some of the other cars had, which is nice for short periods of time, but over a long period of time it gets a bit much. So this is normal now, and you got Sport Plus, which really beefs it up a bit. Handling on this thing is great. There you can hear the engines coming alive. I won't go racetrack mode, but that's traction control off, and that would be silly in the wet, and we don't do silly things with Mustangs, do we? Keeping a steady 120 speed limit here on the highway, not a problem. Just rumbles along. I mean, this could be your fat. This is really sensible the sensible supercar, the new Ford Mustang. I like the sound of that. Easy to drive, simple gear stick. Got your flappy pedals if you want it. Okay, let's try the racetrack just for a laugh, just for the engine though. Oh, it's all there. And then you got snow and wet. That just dumbs the revs right down. There we go. Beautiful. Brakes on this car are exceptional. It's almost like if you buy the 2.3, it's almost over engineered for the size engine, because they really do the business. And good stopping power. Ford haven't always been known for their brakes, but these brakes are exceptional. They do squeak a little bit when they get hot, but I don't care. They work a charm. Everything's pretty simple. It's all pretty simply laid out here on the dashboard. Nothing's too complicated, and the technophobes won't get lost in this car. It's simple. It doesn't have the auto stop with the traffic lights, which is great. It's really set up to be a proper sports car. When I say working man, I'm talking white collar working man. Unfortunately, this is not going to be in the blue collar working man's range. It is a piece of art. I recently took it to Bushman's Kloof, turning heads there as well. Really fit in with a lush, posh sort of flavour of Bushman's Kloof. This car just fitted in there very well. Busy time ahead, and wouldn't you know it, Ford Fiesta ST is coming next week. I've been looking forward to driving that car. I think that's the 1.6 liter with a massive turbo. It might even be a 2 liter, but I think it's a 1.6, extremely fast. Probably performance-wise around the city wouldn't be too far behind this car, which just goes all day long on the highway. At the racetrack, got it up to 220, taking on 2 GTRs down the main straight, but they just ran out of puff at the end. This really does have an exceptional package, and you don't look like a wally driving it either.